Two plus 2 is 77. I'm just kidding. It's actually 3. Nah, 2 plus 2 is 4. It's 4, it really is. And the reason why we know it's 4 is because in math class in school, every single year, we learn that 2 plus 2 is 4. Now here's another truth. I weigh 260 pounds, and that is true. And the way that we know that that's true is that somewhere in a vault, somewhere in some fort or something, there is a pound weight sitting there. And that is the standard that we have created for what a pound is. And it's the true standard. Now here's my question for you today. What if truth had a standard? Now, do you know why it's so important for there to be a standard for truth? Because if there's not a standard for truth, then we will believe anything. And not only will we believe anything, but we will decide ourselves what truth is. And in this culture, it's just everywhere. Actually, in this culture, we just say that truth is relative. Whatever you believe is what you believe, and whatever I believe is what I believe. And you know what? What that does is that leads us so far down a path of lies that we may never, ever even realize that we miss the truth. Now, the beautiful part about this is that there is a standard for truth. And that standard we meet in the book of Matthew. And Matthew is the first gospel out of 4 gospels in the New Testament that talk about the life of Jesus. And in the book of Matthew, we hear this sermon called the Sermon on the Mount. And in that sermon, Jesus begins to tell us that He will tell us the truth. And did you know that in those 4 books, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Jesus tells us 71 times that He is going to tell us the truth, until finally in John 14, verse 6, He says, I am the way and the truth and the light. And do you know what else the Word says about the truth? The Word says that if you know the truth, then the truth will set you free. And so how beautiful is it that we do have a standard for truth? Now you may not believe that Jesus is God. You may not believe that Jesus did all the things that we see in the Bible, and that's okay, because it's a process. But what I would invite you to risk believing, maybe even for the first time, is just that simply Jesus desires to tell you the truth. And not only does He desire to tell you the truth, but because He is the truth, He desires to set you free. And let that in. Let that in you, because that's a wonderful thing. And so, if you can believe that there is a standard for truth, believe that Jesus is that standard, and believe that Jesus is trying to tell you the truth. So what if there were a standard for truth?